More Chuck Oliver Show. Harris Cherokee Casinos are a short drive from Atlanta and will turn your fun road trip into an epic escape. Harris Cherokee Valley River Casino and Hotel, that's in Murphy, North Carolina. Got everything you need for a quick gambling getaway, slots, blackjack, craps, roulette, all of it. And if you're looking to turn your escape into the ultimate gambling adventure, head to Harris Cherokee Casino Resort in Cherokee, North Carolina for their new and expanded poker room, a huge sports viewing area, over 2,900 Vegas-style slots and table games, golf at Sequoia National Golf Club, and so much more. And the sports book at Harris Cherokee Casinos are now open. Bet on pro and collegiate sports at 2 perfectly tailored gambling getaways. Visit harrischerokee.com for details.
Must be 21 years of age or older to enter the casino floor and to gamble, and must present a valid state or federal photo ID upon request. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. An enterprise of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians.
Hey everyone, it's former Georgia quarterback Buck Bellew, and you need to get ready for tailgate season like I am with Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms brings you that sweet, crisp, southern flavor that's perfect for grilling, dipping, or just adding to your favorite recipes. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm and asks you to look for their real sweet, brand sweet onions at your grocery store. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm, growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by The Good Feet Store, a proud supporter of Alabama athletics. Visit The Good Feet Store and get back to doing what you love. Learn more at goodfeet.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. As we get ready for Alabama against Wisconsin on Saturday, here are some final thoughts from the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Kalen DeBoer.
Have a final word for us, Coach, as we go into the game with Wisconsin.
Yeah, we're just got to keep taking the next steps. Physically, we took a step. We got to do that again. And Bryant-Denny Stadium, we love that place, and there's just something special when we step on the field there. Appreciate the fans, as I said earlier, for making it that way, and we need that this weekend. And so looking forward to another challenge and us taking the next steps in that direction.
I'll have more in a moment.
This is Christian Miller for The Good Feet Store. I know from playing football at Alabama and in the NFL that if you have foot, knee, hip, or back pain, it can be a huge challenge. The Good Feet Store is designed to personally fit you with arch supports that alleviate and even eliminate your pain altogether. Try them before you buy them. They're in your free, no obligation, personalized fitting, and you can wear them home the same day. So if you're looking to improve your game, the Good Feet Store has you covered. Stop in for a free, personalized fitting today. Roll to victory at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com. Roll Tide.
We've got you covered for Alabama against Wisconsin on Saturday. Our radio airtime will be 8 o'clock across the network, with our coverage starting on stage at Vector Security, Champions Lane. Kickoff is at 11. You can listen to the game on our full radio network, the Varsity Network app, as well as watch the booth cam presented by Regions Bank on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama.
Alabama!
Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Nope and nope. Good Friday morning to you. Steve Moulton here with you, subbing in
for Scott Tyson. As you can tell on WZZN TV, Drew DeArmond is on his way in here this Friday morning. We've got a lot to get to and a lot to break down. We have, of course, coming up tonight, we've got the high school streaming network over the airwaves. Will be the Cotton Classic with Buckhorn taking on Hazel Green and Westminster Christian Academy. They'll be on the road at Randolph tonight. You can hear both of those broadcasts coming up here tonight as well. And who am I missing? Sparkman. Who is Sparkman? I believe Sparkman is at Albertville tonight as well. And you can hear the wrap up tonight for the Woody Anderson Ford Friday night scoreboard show powered by Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware. So last night, after I got done with the drive, and it led into Thursday night football, Packers are who we thought they were in week one, a fairly convincing win for the Pack over Washington. I ended up watching first-round coverage of the PGA Tour. Yeah. The PGA Tour is in Napa, and taking a look at the leaderboard. Yeah, I'm doing this. I realize it. Mackenzie Hughes is at 9 under par. Russell Henley is at 7 under par. Scroll down to 2 under par is an amateur by the name of Tyler Watts. Does that sound familiar to anybody that goes to Grissom High School? This is a kid who's supposed to be a senior at Grissom High School. He's at 2 under par in the first round of a PGA Tour event. And he had this pitch, I believe it was off of number 15. He was at 2 under par, then went bogey, double bogey. The 17-year-old kid chips it in, and it was a lot of fun to watch and easy to root for as well. But kudos to Tyler Watts, who's at 2 under par with an opening round of 70 and a PGA Tour event. Kid's 17 years old. I know we talked a lot about that last year, a certain wide receiver down in Tuscaloosa, but come on now. As much as we want to think college football is the National Football League, this is, I mean, playing with pros. Congratulations to Tyler Watts. He is playing on a sponsor's exemption, but well-earned, and he is going to fire off with an early round today. Not sure exactly on his tee time, but he was among the last to finish yesterday, so that's how the PGA Tour does it. So hopefully we'll see Tyler Watts excel more than anything. I asked a question last night to Chris Doring and wanted to ask you, the listeners out there, as well as our own Drew DeArmond. Good morning, Drew.
Morning, Steve.
Wanted to ask both, everybody, this question. What would shock you more, Arkansas winning or Florida winning? So that's the question that I posed to Chris Doring last night. What would shock you more, Florida winning or Arkansas winning this weekend? So you can take a minute to veg on that. And something else that Drew heard me play last night, I don't know why, but there are certain times when you're watching YouTube videos, certain things just pop up. And right now, at least on my hit parade, is the 1940s sports reports that used to play in the movie theaters. I have no idea why that I'm just getting such a kick out of.
We're at New York City's Polo Grounds, where the hometown Giants match 11 paid-to players against a pack of Chicago Bears in some of the fightingest football ever warmed over the professional gridiron. Chicago wearing light jerseys and nasty looks.
I mean, come on.
I mean,
come on, it's fantastic.
Well, it's the last time the Bears were good.
Oh, well,
1985.
Yeah, they did honor the 85.
Yeah, you know what's so funny about that broadcast, though? They honored the 1985 Chicago Bears, and right now the Chicago Bears defense has only given up 77 yards, and they lead 17-6. And then we know what happened after that.
Anyway, coming up on the program today, let's see here. Coach Louis LeBlanc, I already mentioned Westminster Christian. They're at Randolph tonight. We'll talk to Coach LeBlanc coming up later on here in this first hour. Then we get to dive into the matchup that you can hear on Talk Radio, WZZN, beginning tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock Central. I am tentatively scheduled to head up to Rocky Top, Drew's favorite place, as Tennessee and Georgia square off. Vince Ferrara going to join us at the top of the 8, and then Brooks Austin's going to bring it on home, counting down to them dogs at 8:30.
The film guy.
That's right. That's right. So I found out what not to ask Kirby Smart.
Oh, boy.
Anyway.
Yeah, ask him about playing against Tennessee, bro. But see, that didn't go well. Now, coaching against them has gone remarkably well.
Yes, it did.
The champion of life had a horseshoe up his ass, won the first one, but after that, it's been 8 in a row.
No, we lost that game, so that's not exactly the best moment for me.
I asked, so it was 30 years ago, Kirby Smart picked off Peyton Manning, and that game was in Knoxville, but no, Kurt, that is not high on the hit parade.
No, we lost that game, so that's not exactly the best moment for me.
And I will give a shout out to Mike Griffith. He followed that up, and then his answer to Griff was just about the same to me. No, you don't understand. We lost that game. We lost that game.
Yeah. There you go.
30 years ago.
Hey, and I wanted to, I wanted to promote something too from a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
He's been a great friend of the show, Scott Whittle, of course, out there in the Shoals, and he's got a couple new business interests going on. And Saturday, for all you folks heading up to Tuscaloosa for the brunch, and said, Steve, he may end up heading down to the crap hole. I, on the other hand, will be headed to Tuscaloosa for the 11 a.m. Kickoff with Wisconsin and
you love 11 a.m.
And Alabama, along with my good buddy Brett Beard. But if you guys are already in Tuscaloosa, or you get there really early, you leave before the sun comes up, because some will trying to get there. There's a new coffee shop, Turbo Coffee. It is in Tuscaloosa, and they will be having a very special signing over there. It will be from our great friend and Final Four participant, and he'll be on Mount Rushmore of Alabama basketball now after his career, Mark Sears. He will be doing a free signing from 8 to 10 a.m., and they will have 100 of the new Daniel Moore prints, because it's only the second Daniel Moore basketball print ever done.
And where is this? Is this in the Shoals?
This will be in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, okay.
Now, he has multiple locations. This one will be in Tuscaloosa. Mark Sears is flying in to do this. They are releasing, Daniel Moore is the buzzer beater, which was Mark Sears making the runner against Auburn in Neville Arena. And he will sign 100 of them. But from 8 to 10 a.m., it will be a free autograph signing, and he'll sign other things. If you have, I'm sure, a basketball or jersey, things of that nature. But this is a free signing from 8 to 10 a.m. And then, of course, you'll have plenty of time to make the kickoff of Alabama, Wisconsin. It's outstanding. And it's, again, at Turbo Coffee, which is a new place in Tuscaloosa. Scott sent me a video of his office, and I'm jealous. And I'll show you the video of when we're on break there, Steve. But it would look like my office if I probably had one like that.
On the subject of basketball, I know there is a certain former Buckhorn Buck who is scheduled to have his visit this weekend in Tuscaloosa.
That was kind of my segue. And
okay. Sorry.
They're having one of the greatest sign autographs, and then they're having potentially the biggest weekend in Alabama basketball recruiting history as Nate Oates continues to capitalize on Alabama basketball being now, ascending to, just under blue blood status. I mean, they're not a blue blood, but they're certainly recruiting like one.
Working on it.
And they will have 3 young men in town, including the one and only Caleb Holt from Prolific Prep. And before that, Grayson High School. And before that, 3 years at Buckhorn with 2 state championships. So he's a top 5 player in America. He will be taking his official visit.
Rocket City Award recipient.
Yeah. And then Dylan Mingo, he's an outstanding, the number 1 point guard in the country. He's from Glen Head, New York. He will be in town as well. 6'5", 190-pound point guard. And then Jackson Richardson will be the 3rd official visitor. And if that last name is familiar, that's Jason Richardson's other son.
Okay.
His oldest son just finished at Michigan State for a year and got drafted in the first round of the NBA draft. But Jackson from Miami Columbus High School, the same high school as the Boozer twins who are now at Duke.
Okay.
He will be visiting Alabama. And he's a top 20 player, while Mingo and Holt are considered top 5 players. So this is a huge basketball recruiting weekend for Alabama, and Scott Whittle is capitalizing on that with his relationship. He's very, very close to the Sears family.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Sears is with the Milwaukee Bucks. He signed with them after the draft, and hope he makes it, because a good friend, Scott Faust, who I graduated with at Huntsville High, has been their trainer for about a decade. And I think Mark is on a 2-way contract there. But he's starting his pro career, but he will do a free signing from Turbo Coffee in Tuscaloosa from 8 to 10 a.m. for all those traveling and maybe getting there early before Alabama, Wisconsin. You can go see Mark Sears. And again, they are releasing the buzzer beater, the Daniel Moore print. It looks amazing. And we'll put that up on our social media platforms, that print.
Right before we started, the Crimson Tide Today report just aired. Did I hear something? You tell me, you were at game 1.
By the Good Feet Store, a proud supporter.
Oh, wait a second. Let me try to.
Hello again, everyone.
Yeah.
Coach, as we go into the game with Wisconsin.
Yeah, we're just got to keep taking the next steps physically. We took a step. We got to do that again. And Bryant-Denny Stadium, we love that place, and there's just something special when we step on the field there. Appreciate the fans, as I said earlier, for making it that way, and we need that this weekend. And so looking forward to another challenge and us taking the next steps in that direction.
Is that the Dakotan way of calling out the fans a little bit?
Certainly you want a great crowd.
A little bit.
The folks that were there last week made a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And, some of them were protesting. What I mean by that is there were some empty seats.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
After the disaster, which is all you can call it. It was a disaster.
So do you think it'll be packed tomorrow?
I think it'll be a really good crowd, because I think people were excited about how the team responded. And this is a quality opponent. This is Wisconsin. This is a high level.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly 11 a.m. is not ideal.
Yeah.
And it'll be 95 degrees.
Luke Fickell said as much.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But Luke,
he's happy about an 11 a.m. kick.
Yeah, he wasn't last year. But
no, he wasn't.
But we'll see if he's any happier. I just hope Jake Crane's right. He's expecting a mud hole. So we will see.
Let's go ahead and take our first time out. If you happen to be on hold, we'll get to you right on the other side. It is a Friday morning, and no, I am not Scott Tyson. He's Drew DeArmond, Steve Moulton here with you. We'll be right back here on Talkin' Ball.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today at 256-208-9000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Firehawk Aerospace is a non-traditional defense contractor advancing the state of propulsion to strengthen the U.S. Defense Initiative. Founded in 2019, Firehawk Aerospace established early leadership in manufactured propulsion with the development of 3D printed hybrid rocket fuel grains. Visit firehawkaerospace.com to learn more. That's firehawkaerospace.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
It all comes back to money.
Visit our store right now at zonedeals.bigdealsmedia.net to take advantage of all the best deals in the Tennessee Valley. Or just go to our website, 977ESPN.com, and click on the Zone Deals logo to start saving right now.
Now, as to the price.
These deals won't last long, so get yours now. Zone Deals. You'll thank us later.
A man who could easily afford to buy a vowel.
The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. Weekday morning starting at 9 a.m. on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
A very pleasant good Friday morning to you. According to the National Weather Service, 65 degrees, foggy and mist out there. It's probably getting burnt off by that big bright blue, big bright thing up in the sky called the sun. But nonetheless, today's scheduled high, 89 degrees. And the forecast this weekend looks a little warmer, but looks very reasonable for this time of year. Saturday's high is 89 up here, Sunday 90. So come on now, under mostly sunny skies.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's head out to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Mark from Spring Hill is first up. How you doing this morning, Mark?
Hey, Mark.
Man, I'm doing very, very well. Thank you. It's good to hear you in the morning. Scott does a good job, but it's good to hear you both do a good job together. Arkansas, I have no idea who these teams are playing, but can you give us who they're playing?
Arkansas is at Ole Miss, and Florida is at LSU. They're both on the road.
Oh my God, Florida is a no-brainer.
So you think Florida? I know Florida won last year, and how many people saw that coming last year? I didn't.
I'll be honest.
Yeah,
go ahead, Mark.
Well, no, it's a trick question, and I almost bit for it too. Florida, first of all, LSU is not the second or third best team in the country. We'll find that out as the year goes by. They'll have 3 or 4 losses. So,
I guess it depends on who the AP voter is on that one, right?
Well, and that's the reason I called. So let me just say, either way, they're both losing. Okay. So here's what I called about was when a team loses like Alabama did to Florida State, they fell 12 spots or whatever it was. And then you find out later that Florida State, let's just say they're undefeated at week 9. But Alabama, sometimes I just wonder if they don't fall too far. You lose a game like that.
Come on, Mark.
We got it.
Oh, y'all don't?
Well,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yes, please.
My thought is whoever's doing these polls, if I can say this, suck. Because they're dropping teams too far. They're dropping teams too far, and then
Man, Mark, I appreciate the phone call.
Apologies, man. We lost you.
Yeah, you're dropping, and there it goes. Let's get our daily Big Ten report. AC, the floor is yours. Although, keep in mind, there's a few more people on hold. So how are you this morning?
It's okay. Good, sir. Thank you so much for taking my call. And thank you so much for coming in the morning show. You felt like the evening show that I talked to. Mr. Drew, how you feeling, my brother?
I'm good. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, for the question, I'm going to answer it. That's Florida Gators. Why the Gators? Because Billy Napier, if they win this Saturday, at least he can sleep easy until they get to Monday practice. That's about it. I mean, right now everybody wants to get rid of him. So this is the game. You beat the LSU Tigers. You sleep well Sunday. Monday, get back to work. Easy and simple.
Well,
now
then you got the rest of that schedule to deal with as well.
Brutal.
I mean,
you need the breather, right? I mean, this is the game.
He ain't going to get a breather for about a month and a half.
Nah.
No, for a day and a half. I think that's what you meant. If you get to practice
I mean
Monday,
a month and a half.
Now this is a good
Yeah,
one.
that too. If you put it this way, I want to talk about the Georgia Bulldogs. Thank you so much for giving a good shout out to my boy Mike Griffith. I'm going to send him an email today. I'm in touch with a lot of people today. Now, this is what I'm going to say. Georgia Bulldogs. We're going to find out who they are this Saturday because they have a big game coming up in 3 weeks when they play those Crimson Crybabies. If Georgia Bulldogs stand toe-to-toe against Tennessee Volunteers, and I expect them to win. Trust me, Crimson Crybabies, get your tissues ready because your season is about to be going down the hill because I am 99% confident. Mr. Thank you so much for mentioning about Big Ten. Big Ten is doing a great job. Repeat is coming on the way. I cannot wait to cash that money in, baby.
Thank you, AC. Appreciate that phone call.
Ice is on the way.
Richard. Good morning, Richard.
Hey, guys.
What's going on, man?
Hey, Drew, I forwarded a picture last night of Scott Whittle with Tom Thibodeau in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, yeah.
Former Bull and Knicks coach. I don't know if he's down there doing something with the basketball program or not, but like I said, I was forwarded that picture last night from Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I cannot confirm nor deny if I saw that picture, but I know what you're talking about.
So,
Tibbs,
you talk about basketball. You got two other recruits, commitments earlier in the week too.
Right. Yeah. Bowie is a heck of a player. I think he's a great athlete. He's going to be playing for Kevin Boyle at Spear Academy in Geneva, Ohio. I think he's 6'6", 170. He needs to gain weight, but certainly a open floor athlete that's a really good defender. And then, of course, Chris Washington Jr. We've talked about both of them on the show this week a little bit. And Chris is, from Providence Christian in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and 6'8", 195 pounds. But he's got both of them have wingspans in the 6'10" range. And Washington's an above the rim guy, really good defender. I think on the Under Armour circuit this summer, he averaged over a block and over a steal per game. So now he's got to develop his shot a little bit, but his mechanics are good. And I think he does have some Brandon Miller type qualities, not as far along as Brandon at the same stage, but certainly I think both those guys are consensus top 50 players. And that's a great start for Nate Oates to piggyback off of what we talked about earlier, which is, Caleb Holt, Jackson Richardson, and Dylan Mingo coming to town.
Yeah, big weekend. One thing on the attendance of the football game last week, it was actually better than I thought it would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were expecting more of a revolt.
Yeah. I mean, because I'd gone to the Florida State game, I was there, but it was pretty full. Basically the north end zone is faculty, and the university owns they basically sell seats on SeatGeek. I mean, out, and so it was kind of a lot of the SeatGeek seats, and the faculty in the north end zone are where usually you see a lot of your visitors that buy StubHub type tickets.
Yeah.
And that
Don't tell Casa Grande that. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hit it, kind of hit and miss. But I mean, I'm in the upper deck, but we moved to the lower bowl in the fourth quarter. Took a while to find some seats just to sit in. We do it so you can get out faster. When the game's over, out. But like I said, it was better attended than I thought it would be out. Last Saturday.
Fair enough. I didn't know if I was reading a little something into that. I don't know if that was the Dakotan jab that we don't know too much about.
Yeah, and I mean, people did start leaving, but especially when the third quarter ended. But I mean, the game started at 6:45, so it was a late game too.
Yeah.
So
out,
for that game. So I hope to see you down there Saturday, Drew.
Yes, sir, Richard. Appreciate the call, brother.
Yep, see you.
So the question that I asked to I've got Luke Fickle. Hang on, let me try to queue up exactly. What would shock you more, Arkansas winning or Florida winning? So that is the question that I've asked here this morning. Later on in the second hour, I'll play you exactly what Chris Doering had to say on the issue. And by the way, I did get a message back from Doering, a CD last night, saying someone evidently heard me throw out the idea of a camera exclusively on Chris Doering because it is Saturday Night Football tomorrow night.
There you
go. I may have started something last night. If you happen to have ESPN Plus, we may get Doering Cam tomorrow.
Doering Cam.
If it goes like I think it's going to go, he doesn't want a camera on it.
Well, I can imagine that. I can understand that.
Anyway, so that is potentially happening, but we're going to continue to play this game of football.
Well, here we go. These, I love Billy Derrick. He's been on the show, but these Vandy offensive linemen don't need to start talking junk, man.
That's
a little.
They got to back it up. They
backed it up so far, but I'm just saying.
Back it up.
I heard Nick Saban on the Pat McAfee show saying he would have paid that defensive lineman in 2017.
Yeah, that's right.
$100,000,
which you can do now.
He's like, what? I didn't know what I was going to tell my team, And then all of a sudden, Bama, you're next. Oh,
yeah.
The patent disrespect.
Done.
59-0.
Yeah.
But of course, Derek Mason was coaching then.
I told you in the first segment that I've been watching way too many of these old reels.
Yeah.
And I found a 1944 instructional video on football. And in some of these plays, like I did not realize the flying trapeze.
Oh, I've heard the term. Yeah.
But there's a few other things called spidettes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The game of football is far more interesting than most fans realize. When the announcer or the radio commentator tells you that the offensive team is running a reverse play or a spinner or an end run, or that the defense is in a 7-man line, you know what they mean?
7-man line.
Well, just sit back and relax and let's get a close-up view of this great game of football.
The 7-man line.
I mean, come on, man.
7-man line.
This is the time when Army was a powerhouse, bro. Hey, but shout out to him for beating Kansas State. That was
a big win
after bouncing back from the Tarleton State disaster.
Yeah,
it just shows you can bounce back.
You most certainly can.
I mean,
and coming up here tonight in our high school streaming network, the Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats. They will be on the road taking on the Raiders from Randolph there on Garth. You're going to get both broadcasts and. Head coach Louis LeBlanc is scheduled to join us coming up next. So let's go ahead and take our second time out. It's a Friday morning. That's right. Here on 97.7 ESPN. The Zone.
Steve with his big man voice.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. Some of us probably going to see 90 degrees. It's going to be a beautiful evening for Friday night football. We'll start the evening in the lower 80s and then gradually fall into the 70s as we head into the later part of the evening, dropping into the 60s through the overnight. A mostly sunny sky for your Saturday. Temperatures consistently climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that His mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
Listen to the Alabama Football Recap Show every Sunday at 11. Smoked by Dreamland Barbecue. Ain't nothing like 'em nowhere. On 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey, good Friday morning to you. Welcome into Talkin' Ball. Yes, Drew and I will saddle up once again Sunday at 11. Rolling into some NFL triple header, as a matter of fact, coming up on Sunday. But you can start things out with the Bama Recap Show, smoked by Dreamland Barbecue. That'll be a lot of fun to rehash. That I'm certainly Alabama fans hope that it will be a lot of fun to rehash. And what is there's only one way to put it. The final tune-up, you will, before the season begins, and that is the conference season that starts week after next on the 27th there between the hedges. So there's already region play in a certain region, multiple weeks of region play. And 4A Region 8, Drew Armin.
Yeah, 4A Region 8 is, I've always thought, one of the tougher regions in that classification. Got some depth to it. Certainly, Steve and I were talking off the air last night. North Jackson went over to Wicks Family Field and performed very well against a improved JP2 team that, under Coach Kevin Crehan, that's shown a lot of progress. But certainly you got to give a lot of credit to the North Jackson Chiefs. So much tradition there.
Yeah.
And they seem to be going through a little bit of a renaissance and putting themselves in position to make a run at the 4A Region 8 championship. But another program that's a perennial playoff contender, also a contender each year in 4A Region 8, won region championships, made deep playoff runs. They've got Brandon Mush at Charleston Southern, who's, I believe, been their starting tailback, and shout out to him, one of the best athletes in the history of Madison County because of the career he had. For our next guest. And, of course, that is 10th-year head football coach Louis LeBlanc, and his team is coming off of a very good performance as they beat JP2 last week and are now 10-0 all time against them. That's hard to do against anyone, but certainly Louis LeBlanc and the Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats have continued to improve and continued to climb up the 4A Region 8 standings. And we are going to talk some Westminster Christian Academy Wildcat football, courtesy of our great friends at Sports Med Surgery and Spine Center here in Huntsville. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, man. How are y'all?
We're doing well, Coach. I know this season's a grind, man. It starts going by fast. I can't believe we're nearly at the halfway point already of the regular season.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that earlier this week, and great mentor of mine, Stephen Hooks, had always said, if the season's going by fast, that means you've got a good group of guys, and if it's going by slow, man, just pray. But the season's going by fast for sure, and it is a great group of young men that we get to coach here.
Tell me a little bit about last week's game against JP2 for you, Coach.
I think I said it last week when you guys were talking to me. I was just nervous about that group. They've shown a ton of improvement. Coach Crehan's done a good job there. Got a couple of weapons there that can give you fits, and then just a group of guys that are fighting for one another, and they did. They were athletic, and they came out and did some good things, and we were able to make some adjustments and overcome a couple of injuries here and there, and then the guys were able to come away with the win. But it was a good game. It was a good game after I felt like we played poorly against a very good Plainview team, and it's good to see the guys come back out and do what we had practiced after a great week of practice.
I see kind enough to shoot me the stats. There was Jimmy Lay and Carson Tinsley. Boy, he had a game right there for you, Coach.
Carson is a special athlete, and as a coach, you're like, where do you put him? And you just
everywhere.
Want to put him everywhere. That's right. You want to put him everywhere, and 9 carries, 109 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's a pretty good day.
That's pretty good.
And honestly, I mean, that's if we sat down and scripted out the season, that's what we would want for him is not having to be an every down back, but having high production with the carries that he does have, and then able to get over on defense and help us secure some stops and some great field position for our offense. And so he's just a great kid. He's a hard worker, comes from a great family, and just fortunate to have him. And it was cool to just watch him grow up. I saw him play some little league sports and basketball and whatnot, and then being able to see him in our middle school program and now a senior and leading the team and in all phases of the game is just kind of one of those little perks that makes coaching special when you see those young men develop into who they are today.
Yeah, and he's a rare guy that can affect the game in all 3 phases: offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game, Coach.
Oh, for sure. He works really hard in the kicking game. It's a passion of his, and then obviously, a great athlete can be a star linebacker or a running back, and probably if we put him at quarterback, he'd do a great job there too. He's just great hands, a great awareness on the field, understands the game, how he fits in it, and good thinker, can see it, react, and be where he's supposed to be.
I've of course, I call games from Madison Academy, and I've seen Randolph that they are very young. But the one thing that I would at least, I obviously want to hear your opinion on what you've seen. But boy, if there's one thing I know about Coach Lloyd is once he gets it figured out over there, that team is going to be dangerous.
Oh, for sure. You can see it. That they're sound and they've got a plan, and the guys are, they're working that plan. They're not giving up on it, and they're pushing. They played 3 of the hardest teams to play against up here in North Alabama in 4A, and that's that explains maybe a slow start for them but it doesn't define them. And Coach Lloyd is a great coach and always has his guys ready to play and always has a plan and then a backup plan and a counter plan. So it'll definitely be a tough one tonight for us.
Yeah, no question, and it's part of the big rivalry. There's a lot of good rivalries in 4A Region 8, no question about that, and it's a great competition, certainly. And Coach, how do when you're playing a team like Randolph, where you have a big rivalry, is part of your selling point to your team in preparation that you can't really look at their record, especially when you take into account what you just talked about, which is the strength of schedule that they've played. They've played as tough a schedule as anybody in 4A so far.
That's right. And so I worry sometimes, you guys ask me those kind of questions, I'm going to be just a boring interview, but like we really don't even talk about it. We talk about us. We talk about, we just – what can we control? And it's natural. And I do talk, just here and there about guys. You can't look at our opponent's record. No. And I'm going to say that whether they're undefeated or they're winless. And that's, that is a challenge with high school kids, and the younger the athlete, the a lot of times they get swayed by, what a record says or what other people are saying, and unfortunately that's a two-way street, because if that's the way you govern how you play, then you're going to start listening to your own press and you're going to start looking at your own record, and you'll lose a game before you ever show up. And I don't want that either. So as coaches, we go into it with extreme focus on us and what do we have to do to get better. We never have ever come into a week saying, well, guys, we can take this week easy, and just kind of, do some walkthroughs. We want to do whatever we have to do to be the best team that we can be at any given moment, because anything can happen on a Friday night, and you're one injury away from you having to scramble and come up with a plan. And so we just want our guys ready. And so, definitely, I did tell them this week that, the three opponents that this team has played are, those guys are tough, and we know one of them because we've already played them this season, and we have a long history with, West Morgan and watching their program, and then they're a tough bunch. And then obviously Madison Academy, man, we've never beaten them. And so those are three opponents right there that I think anybody would see on their schedule and not be fired up to play. And then Randolph got back to back to back. And so definitely not an indicator of where they're at for sure.
Mm-hmm. How about depth along the lines for you, Coach?
Offensive line is, I'm sure, Coach. Pardon me, Steve. I was going to just say he they had so much experience returning there up front, Steve, and they're and I know that was a backbone of this group. And how did you think they performed against JP2?
I thought they did well. And we had a young man, Caden Sylvester, step into the offensive line. We had a senior that had hurt his elbow. He's fine. He's back. But Caden stepped in and did a great job for us. And that's always awesome to see that you've got a viable backup there that can provide depth. And to me, he played like a starter. And that's what you want is a tough call every week of trying to figure out who's going to get that starting nod and seeing that competition in practice, guys pushing one another. And so we are thin. I mean, we're five seniors deep, on that offensive line there. And then Caden's a junior, and then there's some younger guys behind him. But the depth, is always, I think, going to be an issue for schools our size. But it's good to see when you've got those viable backups that are ready to go at any given moment, and Caden showed that last week.
I know every season is different, but tell me, when do you take the foot off the accelerator in terms of physical practice during the meat of the season, Coach?
Man, that is a tightrope. I feel like that I walk every year. When I was a defensive coordinator, I wanted full speed every day. We got to get out there and grind. And then when I became a head coach and started having more talks with our trainer and seeing guys and paying attention to more than just, my side of the ball, and you see guys, nicks and scrapes and bruises. And I mean, it's a collision sport. It's a tough game for tough people. And so at the same time, you got to take care of those people. And I saw Coach Niblett speak years ago when he was at Hoover, and he talked a little bit about that. It really kind of changed my view of it. And so we always are trying to be smart with practice, and let's get to the game. But at the same time, we've got to be physical. So we try to craft our drills to limit the big collisions from great distances, if that makes sense, and put guys closer together. And let's focus on maybe the pursuit angle. Then let's focus on the actual contact, and we can take those two things and make them into two drills and get guys closer together so that we can work on wrapping up and driving our feet, rolling our hips and whatnot. And then I think one of the things I learned just working in college football, especially when I was a GA, was teaching people how to practice. Those are my teammates out there, and I may have a great shot at one of them going across the middle, or I may have a blindside block, but that's my teammate. And I don't need to see you crush your teammate to know that you would have crushed your teammate. And so I can see that you're in position. So getting young guys to see that and understand that, that's always a job one, I think, with high school athletes, and getting to understand how to play football. Staying off the ground. We're not diving for loose balls at practice. May wind up diving into somebody's leg, or somebody gets an arm broke, going for just a meaningless fumble on a Monday. Let's just practice smart. So we can practice recovering fumbles. We just don't have to do it in traffic where injury may be high. So I guess to answer your question, we put our foot on the accelerator for a few minutes and we take it off. So I don't know if there's a point in the season where we say, all right, guys, we're just going to be in helmets the rest of the season. We just try to be consistent, try to teach them how to practice and emphasize effort and hustle. And then Friday night, they've just got to do what they've been trained to do. So I guess it's almost like the military. They're not shooting live rounds at each other, but they're going through trainings that prepare them for those moments. And so how can we train our guys without having to go live?
Well, and Coach, when we're talking to Louis LeBlanc, courtesy of Sports Med Surgery and Spine Center, talking some Westminster Wildcats football as they travel over to Randolph tonight off Garth Road and for a key 4A Region 8 game. And I know, Coach, growth is always important, and your program has always seemed to have the knack of playing their best football and getting to the postseason and making runs. And the key is improving each week. I know Houston Scott coming off of a very efficient game, no turnovers for him, 10 of 13. How have you seen him play as a senior? Because it's always great to have a senior offensive line, but also a quarterback in his second full year starting for you.
Yes, sir. I was very proud of him last game. We didn't put the ball in the air a lot because we were having so much success on the ground, and but to see Houston lead his team, to see him be a little more physical, if something went poorly, he was another coach on the field picking guys up and getting them ready for the next snap, and that's what you want, and just makes everybody play better. And plus, sometimes those guys on the field, they need to have an ally out there for them when the coaches on the sideline are maybe getting on to them, and they need to have somebody right there that's going through the battle with them, that's picking them up and encouraging them, and that just continues to build that family atmosphere that we want. So I saw that last week, and it's in him, and he's done it before, and we've just praised him on that and encouraged him to continue down that path. And I think his opportunities for him, the sky's the limit for him. He's of what he could accomplish at this level, and I pray that somebody's going to take a chance on this 6'5", 215-pound quarterback with a big arm on the next level. I think he could play at a lot of different places, and I hope I get to continue seeing him play long after he leaves here.
Yeah, no question.
I can't believe it's 10 years for you, Coach.
Yeah,
it's when Drew said that, it took me a second there.
They fly by.
Goodness gracious.
He became the head coach the first year I got employed here.
Oh my goodness gracious.
How about
that? Yeah, so we're both doing well.
There you go.
Praise the Lord.
So this morning I got a reminder of all of this. Our strength coach has a group of men that come in and lift in the mornings, and one of our alumni, Luke Troyanek, was walking out into the parking lot as I was walking in, and we caught up for a minute. He was on my first team as when I was head coach. He was a senior, and it was just awesome to catch up with him. He's a youth pastor in Atlanta, and just, he's got 300 middle school and high school kids coming to his youth group, and it was just really awesome to catch up with him. And then we were talking about my son, and he looked over my shoulder and he said, "Man, there's your son's senior banner on the fence right there. Man, it's crazy how time flies." And here you guys are talking about it, and it is crazy, and God's good, and I think when you just slow down and enjoy the moment and look at the kids you're working with and the situation that you're in, and I think that contributes to those years flying by. Plus, obviously, being in a place you love, around people that you love working with, you can't wait to go to work, and before you know it, 10 years go by, and that's been the case for me here.
Well, what's holding you up is Spike McCroy out there more than anything, Coach.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard. It's hard to live in the shadow of a living legend. That guy, he's a great human being. I love this place. And he is awesome.
Yeah, he is. And Coach, my final just comment, or it's I guess it's almost like a question, but a key tonight got to be a fast start and staying focused. I would think. I would imagine.
100%, but where we've really focused this year is talking about the ability to refocus. And asking anybody to focus for 4 quarters is hard. So let's go ahead and admit it. We're going to lose focus. We're going to get frustrated. We're going to get distracted. Can we refocus? So that's been a big cry for us this year. The ability to refocus, to deal with the present, to gather yourself, and whether that's a teammate giving you the kick in the pants you need to get your head right, or it's a coach, or it's yourself, and hopefully it's yourself and you're disciplined enough to say, I got to let that last play go, whether it was a drop pass or someone give me a little extra business after the whistle, or maybe they didn't throw the ball my way. I have no idea what it is, but whatever it is, I got to drop it. I got to refocus, because that next play's coming, and the other team does not care about my issues, and I've got to get ready for my team, not just for me. And so preaching that and seeing the guys live it is to me just what high school athletics is all about, teaching these young people how to handle adversity and then refocus for the next round.
Well, we're certainly ready, and we'll have a dual broadcast tonight.
That's right.
As Bailey Lowry and Tyler Johnson will be on the call, and then of course our great Lee Reynolds.
That's right.
And our great crew for Madison Academy, not Madison Academy. Excuse me. I got.
Come on now.
They're on a
Don't do that to them.
Westminster Christian Academy.
Don't do that.
Sorry about that. That's what happens when you eat too much Buc-ee's.
Wow.
But,
wow. Okay.
But Westminster Christian Academy, as Coach Louis LeBlanc trying to win his 4th region championship, and his great tenure there has been a decade over at Westminster, and he's done an amazing job. Well, Coach, thank you for putting up with me, and thank you for the conversation. We always enjoy it.
I always enjoy it, man. Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you,
Coach.
Great man, Louis LeBlanc there.
Are we taking a break now? Or okay, we're taking a break now.
I know you're getting used to the break schedule. Yeah, we're going to wrap up hour 1 here on Talkin' Ball.
Go for it.
At least I got that right.
Yeah.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman, or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know it's hot outside, so cool down with an upright or chest freezer in stock at Owen Home Appliance Center. And don't let those beverages get hot. Get an under-counter ice machine with a built-in pump for just $12.99. Or how about a fridge out by the pool or in the garage for extra cold drinks? You can get a scratch and dent 18 cubic foot refrigerator for just $3.49 while supplies last. Go to OwenAppliance.com to learn more. That's OwenAppliance.com.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. At the Aldridge Law Firm in the Legal Town Center, we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188. Just remember, we're here to help, whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete. We're here to help.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Short time here before we dive into some college football. On the other side of our top of the hour break, Georgia is at Tennessee. The betting odds have just been updated. This is as of this morning. Your favorites to win the college football playoff in order now are Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, Texas, and LSU. That's your top five. Alabama's current odds are 14-1 to win the national championship. That is better odds than Notre Dame or Miami or Clemson. Clemson is now 22-1, according to the odds makers and ESPN Bet, to win the college football playoff. So we'll see what happens and how stuff might get altered this weekend. Certainly a tough road trip for the Georgia Bulldogs up to Rocky Top in what will be a very, very loud environment.
Well, I mean, I picked Tennessee as much as I hate it. But you gotta be somewhat objective and pick the game how you feel about it. And again, I don't really know how good.
Joey's really impressed me.
Well,
Joey Aguilar's really impressed
he has, but you still don't really know how good either team is. And like Jake Crane made the point that Georgia was not impressive last week, but a lot of times that's almost by design. You're kind of laying in the weeds. You don't really know how good either team is yet. And Georgia's had a lot of success against Tennessee, but Aguilar's been impressive. Their running back room looks like it's got good depth.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive lines played well, and defensively they're still much, much stronger. I guess if I wanted to give Josh Heupel the biggest compliment during his tenure at Tennessee, it's how much the defense has improved, because they had been bad for a long time, and Tim Banks has done a really good job.
I did have a chance to talk to Josh Heupel, but it was at the very last part of the teleconference. And even Coach said, "Hey, I've been waiting on you." And, of course,
Steve is king of the teleconference.
I had to snap back and say, well, I got to get called on,
Well,
Coach.
Vince Ferraris can talk about it next.
Yes, he will.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
The night race at Bristol coming up on Saturday. Kyle Larson, the plus 265 favorite. Denny Hamlin, 4-1. Ryan Blaney, 6-1. Tonight at Bristol, it's the Xfinity Series race. Justin Allgaier, Connor Zillich, the plus 220 co-favorites. In the NFL Sunday, Falcons a 3.5-point dog of the Minnesota Vikings. Alabama laying 3 touchdowns at home with Wisconsin tomorrow. Auburn 24.5-point home favorites with South Alabama. Jacksonville State plus 4 at Georgia Southern. UAB laying 11.5 at home against Akron. Braves a $1.12 dog at home today against the Houston Astros minus 137. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
A very pleasant good Friday morning to you. Welcome into Talkin' Ball. Scott Tyson is out on assignment. I think it's some kind of track meet.
Cross country.
Yeah,
the Southern Showcase.
Yeah.
Collegiate, high school. Joe Hunt going to be doing that today too with his wearing.
I think he's doing soccer. I think. Anyway, UAH. But anyway. So it's what now, Brody?
Volleyball.
Oh, volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Joe wearing a bunch of hats.
Yeah, and I'll be here for a minute. So hope those of you out there don't get too terribly sick of me. But this hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. They invite you to give them a call today at 256-881-5151 to experience the SportsMed difference. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. Well, Tennessee and Georgia this weekend. In fact, coming up tomorrow, this point spread keeps shrinking. And Georgia is now a 3.5-point favorite on the road at Tennessee. The Vols have really impressed me. Now, it was more obviously against Syracuse than East Tennessee, but certainly taking care of business against the Buccaneers is what it is. But how Joey Aguilar and what we were sold, especially in the spring, of, boy, he throws way too many picks. Boy, he's careless with the football. And I have not seen that.
Well, guess who else had that kind of reputation coming in as a transfer and set the woods on fire?
Who's that?
Hendon Hooker.
And boy, did he blossom.
Yeah.
And
he hasn't done anything in the NFL, which has kind of surprised me. But still, he was known as a guy that was turnover prone at Virginia Tech, and he became, in my opinion, the second best quarterback at Tennessee since Peyton Manning. When you talk about, the at least from the 90s on. Now there has been other great ones. I thought he was even more effective. I would say Heath Schuler right after him, but I thought he was, as a player, even more effective than Heath Schuler. And I thought Heath was a really good player. But still,
Portal has been. I mean, as much as we focus on certain programs, be it Ole Miss or a few others that are just more just known for that, the portal has been quite kind to Josh Heupel.
It has, and I was just reading something on Yahoo during the break that Neo Iamale Moneybags and his family are boo-hoo-hooing because they're irate still that Tennessee, they felt like that they leaked a lot of the info about him being unhappy to the media and just basically, in other words, they're trying to deflect blame because he sucks and his brother can't play either. And so they're going to blame other people, saying that, the plan was to stay, but then Tennessee leaked out the info that, he was unhappy and all this kind of stuff. And it's just a bunch of crap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Earn your money, play better football, And if you hadn't have been whining and trying to get more money out of Tennessee, which is exactly what you were doing, then you got called out on it. Because guess what? You know why? Because you didn't play well enough. You got called out on it because you were trying to hold them hostage, because you and your family are scumbags, and all you're out for is the money. And because you know you're never going to play and I'll just say it, you're never going to play a minute in the NFL. You're not any good. Okay, you're not.
I do wonder how many Vol fans maybe have the same reaction as the very first SEC short that came out. This is how it ended.
Oh, Tennessee, you had such a big win today. I'm so proud of you. Night-night.
Good night, Mommy.
Then he gets up out of bed to watch the late night game.
He's going to chunk it deep. Oh, and that is a terrible interception for Nico. I mean, UCLA is falling apart in this game.
There we go.
That is how the video ended.
They do such a great
honestly,
job.
I reached out to Josh and was like, you could have done that same ending for week 2 as well, because they lost to UNLV.
Oh, I know. And Clown Mullen.
And Mullen.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a big game tomorrow, and it's definitely a place that I'm going to go with our next guest. But feel free to intro
and
the man, the myth, the legend,
and he's certainly is, and he's still on the road to recovery, and we are certainly praying for him every day about that. But he's carved out some time for us. He's still staying busy, staying on the grind, and that's of course Sports Radio, the Sports Animal 99.1's Vince Ferrara, who does a great job, and you can connect with him at Vince Sports. Wears a lot of different hats, also works for the IMG Vol Radio Network. Vince, it's great to be back with you. It's been a minute, but how you doing, man? How's the rehab process going?
You there, Vince?
We got you.
Yeah, sorry, I accidentally my face muted my phone. So
I've been there, man. Look, we had some phone issues yesterday.
All good.
I appreciate you for you being versatile and helping us out, and because we've been juggling a lot this week. But again, how's the rehab process going? Is everything coming along?
Yeah, really good. Had a follow-up visit with the doc yesterday. Took X-rays. He said, I'm healing fantastic. Got
awesome.
The second surgery scheduled for the second open week, the Monday of the second open week. So got to get to that to have full relief. But yeah, the first hip replacement surgery went great. So rehabbing really well. I appreciate you guys asking.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well,
this rehab process at quarterback's going really well for Tennessee.
It's a shame that we just cannot get true opinions out of Drew Arman on a daily basis, Vince. Joey has certainly surprised me out of the gate just because
he's like very comfortable, Vince.
Yeah. What have you seen?
Hendon Hooker-esque.
Yeah, I think guys, the numbers have been don't really tell the true story, I think, with him and why he has been impressive and better than what you would have, what I think a lot of people thought or even knew. Some people just, you just didn't say anything because you didn't know exactly how he would adjust to this level. But he's done all the right things from the minute he got to Tennessee, connected with the wide receivers, and he went and all his teammates went and connected with them and went out to dinners and bonded with them and threw with them, all those kind of things. So very much a positive with the way he has handled things at Tennessee. He's looked poised in games. He's a very confident, sort of a chill kind of Cali type of kid, but also humble. And because he's been very different than Nico in personality and the play, I think he's really endeared himself to Tennessee fans in a big way. So I think he's been outstanding and better than anyone I think would have expected. And you mentioned Hendon Hooker, Drew. The numbers aren't quite like Hendon Hooker in terms of throwing the ball down the field, but he came in but somewhere between Hooker's efficiency in deep ball throws and where the last two Tennessee quarterbacks were in the low 30s, he's been in the middle there in terms of his percentages coming in from App State. But he's been really good. He's had deep shot throws each of the first two games for a touchdown, and then he hasn't thrown interceptions. His completion percentage has been better than it was at App State. So yeah, he's done an outstanding job.
The biggest question mark I honestly had was at the tailback position of
replacing Dylan Sampson.
Exactly, and honestly, I see three very capable backs.
Some depth.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If anything, question has already been answered in terms to me of what kind of tailbacks you guys have up there in Knoxville.
Well, they've gone from like people not knowing, about these guys to perhaps having one of the better running back rooms in the SEC. Now, here's the thing, like a lot of us were more confident in the run game than the pass game that it would be successful at Tennessee this year because, people I think from the outside would say, oh, Josh Heupel always, gets a lot, they score a lot of points and the quarterbacks and the passing game and all that. But the last couple of years, they haven't had those explosives. They've had some inconsistencies at quarterback. The one thing that has never wavered in a Josh Heupel offense anywhere has been the run game. So a lot of us felt like in this committee of backs, no one was going to be Dylan Sampson individually. But I think a lot of us felt like they could run for as many yards as they did last year. It was just going to be spread out. And I think that's the way it's played out. Star Thomas, maybe, who's been the third guy to get in, the Duke transfer that led them in rushing last year. He's probably been the best of the bunch, but Bishop and Lewis have both found the end zone, have both had yards after carry and been tough to bring down and done well. The offensive line is a big part of that too. They haven't had their 5-star freshman in David Sanders Jr. yet, who was slated to start at right tackle. He's questionable for this game against Georgia, and that's another story and how they work him back in. But they changed their lineup going in that Syracuse game. They stayed the same against ETSU, and they've been outstanding. Joey Aguilar has not been sacked yet, and they've had big holes for their running back. So that run game for sure in both of those areas has been excellent for Tennessee.
Well, I know Drew mentioned at least the comparison to Hendon Hooker. It does make me think about the 22 game, and that was a game in which the Georgia defense clamped down in a big way. I think Tennessee had 13 points in that game. But I don't see this Georgia defense even in the same neighborhood of the 22 team.
No, there's individual talent. Like Georgia has 4 first-team All-SEC guys on that defense, but they're younger than they were back then. They had guys that were seasoned, that been in the program for a couple of years. They were older. They also had a little bit more depth with some experience back then. Now their backups are like some true freshman 5-stars, and they are loaded as always in terms of that level of talent. 24/7 Sports does a really interesting composite of all the ratings on rosters, and your usual suspects are all up there at the top. But Georgia's number one. They have 13 5-stars and 57 4-stars on their roster. 60 of their 85 are either a 4 or a 5-star. That's old Nick Saban Alabama roster. And it's not like Alabama is that far away even now, but Georgia's still the best. And then Tennessee's 16th with 4 5-stars and 43 4-stars. So there's still good talent there, but not to Georgia's level. It's just younger on the back end, and some of that is guys that won't play also. So that's a factor. But you're right. It is not that level of Georgia defense, but it's still much better than anything that Joey Aguilar has seen and a number of these Tennessee wide receivers that are going to see a lot of physical press man coverage that they've seen. And they have to prove that they can get loose in that type of coverage. Because what happens guys, is that Georgia, the way they did it last year, the way they did it in 2022, that you referenced, when Tennessee actually was the number one team in the BCS, too, when they went over there, is they beat you up the middle, and with their defensive tackles, and then their linebackers are big physical guys that can run, and then they clog up those A gaps, and then they blow you up in the middle. So then they get a big defensive stop, either a sack or an incompletion. Now it slows Tennessee's tempo down. Now you're behind the sticks. Now you have a negative play, and so it takes more time to regather, and you have to adjust. And then it takes away Tennessee's weapon of the tempo, and that's where Georgia has had success. They also can get to the quarterback with 4. Can they do that against Tennessee's new offensive line this year that has 4 new starters? We'll see, but those have been the recipes for Georgia in the past. Physical, get to the QB with their front 4, and then blitz up the middle and blow things up, and then slow Tennessee's tempo down.
We're talking to Vince Ferrara, Sports Animal 991, Knoxville, Tennessee. This was another question going into the season when we were talking in Atlanta, but how have they liked the progress of Chris Brazzell, Mike Matthews, Kitzelman, and the receiver and tight end room?
Yeah, I think it has been a huge positive so far for Tennessee. They're very young behind those guys, and honestly, between all of them, they're very young. I think they had 39 total catches at Tennessee last year. So Brazzell, had his time at Tulane prior to that, so he's the elder statesman. But Brazzell's already he's got the half of his catches for all of last year in 2 games. He's in like the top 5, I think, in receptions in the SEC. He's had a few drops, but he's getting open. And so that's been a positive. And then Mike Matthews, he had a deep shot touchdown jump ball last week. He's been reliable on some of the middle of the field throws from Aguilar. And then Braylon Staley's been working in the slot. He's a 4-star from South Carolina. And he and Matthews both have surpassed their total catches from last year. Staley had the 73-yard bomb from Aguilar in the Syracuse game, and he has largely held on to the football too. So those are the top 3. That's what they're going to roll with. They have freshmen behind them. We have not seen much from Amari Jefferson. Honestly, it was a quiet camp for him. I don't know if he's banged up, but he has not been a factor as of yet. And Heupel doesn't play a lot of wide receivers. They find their guys they trust, and they roll with those guys until injury dictates otherwise. Kitzelman has found the end zone. He's been excellent. He's a great 2-way tight end and an NFL prospect, the former Alabama tight end. And then, they haven't played their really talented freshman tight end. They had a great tight end signing class, guys that had great camps. They have not played them as much, so they've stuck with him and Ethan Davis as their two tight end set. So the pass game from that end has been really good, just not overly deep. And Aguilar's had good connections with those guys. Those top 3, 20 catches on 26 targets last week against ETSU.
Wow. Talking to Vince Ferrara right outside of Bristol Motor Speedway. I couldn't help but hear that in the background there for you, but maybe on the subject of some depth defensively, it really kind of stuck out in a big way how much quality depth Tennessee had on the defensive side. Are they as deep, you think, this year as they were last year?
I don't think so, because they are also younger. And what's happened is Tennessee has added in the portal, but in some other areas where they lost a couple of D linemen to the NFL draft and first-round draft pick James Pierce Jr., Omar Norman-Lott in the second round. Elijah Simmons is on the practice squad for the Arizona Cardinals. So Omari Thomas was with the Saints practice squad as well earlier in camp. So they lost a decent amount of guys on that front. So they are younger in their front. They're still talented, but they're just younger. So similar to Georgia in some ways there.
Yeah.
And then in the secondary, they've had to lean on their depth because Jermon McCoy, projected first-round pick at corner, he injured himself in training and tore his ACL in January. So he's done a little bit of practicing in individual drills, but not ready to come back yet. And then their other starting corner got hurt in the Syracuse game, Enrique Gibson.
That's right.
So he's out for an extended period of time. So Tennessee is without their two starting corners in this game against Georgia. So that's never ideal. The good news is that they have found depth because Colton Hood, the transfer from Colorado, scoop and score against Syracuse, has been excellent.
Former Auburn Tiger.
He's very confident. Former Auburn Tiger. And then Ty Redmond, a true freshman, has been outstanding. He's long, he's confident, and he has come in there and done a great job and gotten a lot of snaps the first two games. So those are the guys they're going to roll with. They're also they have some depth at star in Jalen McMurray, a one-time Temple out, and then Boo Carter, who has had to work his way back into the starting spot. He has not yet because he missed some off-season workouts that the Tennessee leadership did not like, that he missed some of those voluntary player workouts. So they've made him kind of earn his way back, but he's a great factor on special teams. This is such a great game for returners with Branch and Boo Carter.
Yeah.
Both special teams are as good as it gets in the league. So that'll be a fascinating part of this game. But Tennessee has leaned on the depth, but honestly, they're down a couple of D linemen as well, in addition to already being younger. Jackson Moy, starting D tackle, went down in the Syracuse game. Tyree Weathersby got hurt in the Syracuse game. He didn't play last week. Those guys are listed as questionable. So Tennessee could be even thinner on defense. That's really my biggest concern for the Volunteers is they get so much younger with this loss of depth at corner and D line that I worry about them in this game. So.
Well, great stuff from Vince Ferrara. Really appreciate the time and the insight, no doubt. And let everybody know how to follow your coverage. And it's just going to be a huge one in Knoxville. I know there's a lot of buzz. There has been since the week started.
Yeah, the last time game day was there was a certain third Saturday in October back in 22.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. An even longer streak was snapped that day.
That's right.
As well. And a whole lot happened after that, as you guys know. But Tennessee has game day here, so there's been just a ton of excitement about it. You can follow me on all the socials. It's Vince Sports, VINCE Sports. So we'll have videos and analysis during the game, after the game, all that kind of fun stuff.
Thank you, Vince.
Vince, I did not get out of that parking lot till 1:30 in the morning Eastern.
Were you on the field at the end?
Yes, I was. Yes, there was more than cigars getting smoked on that field.
Shocker.
Yeah, I know.
Appreciate it, my friend.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Needless to say, I left my viewing party quickly. There was a couple of vomit fans there. It was disgusting.
It's the first time since 1988, but both teams will open up conference play against one another. Georgia won that game. Vince Dooley was in his 25th year as a head coach there for the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia has won 10 straight SEC openers, 9-0 under Kirby Smart. Tennessee, on the other hand, is 4-16 in their last 20 SEC openers.
Well, after Vince talked about all those injuries, I'm not as confident in my pick. But if Georgia wins, I'm sure as hell I'm not going to complain.
Well, the other factor is I just told everybody where I was in 22.
Yeah.
I'll be up there again.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't there. Brandon was. It was not a good experience.
We are way late for a break. That's just what I do around here.
We do that.
Yeah, it's just
we're not worried about it.
Oh my God. Let's head off to a timeout. It is Friday morning edition of Talkin' Ball.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window. Now is the time to take advantage of their huge end of summer sale and get ready for the fall. Right now, all windows are 35% off. All exterior doors are 40% off. Now you get the whole door, just the price is 40% off. And get this, 0% interest for 18 months, as in no interest, nada, none. As always, the estimates are free, as is the lifetime warranty. To make an appointment, go to yourhomewindow.com. That's yourhomewindow.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it. Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
But you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
To the town of our free rode a stranger one fine day.
There is nothing like a good Marty Robbins tune. Come on, Brody, give me a little more. Come on.
No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
It's a great tune. By the way, I think this is a call out to my mom. You don't really notice it as a kid, but there are certain performers when they were on the Nashville Network growing up.
Yeah.
My mom would always pause and take a look at Marty Robbins.
Nice.
Couldn't throw that one past me there, Mom.
There you go.
Kirby Smart is 28-12 in AP top 15 matchups as a head coach, including 17-4 since 2021. Kirby Smart has 19 top 15 matchup wins by double digits. That's the third most by any coach since 2000. He has as many as Urban Meyer, 19. Bob Stoops has 27, and some guy named Nick Saban has 41. 41! So, as impressive as 19 is, Nick Saban with 41.
No doubt. And I know Steeler Mike is called back in.
Yes, Steeler Mike.
And Mike, I don't know if that's the entire explanation you wanted for me, you, and a ball named Boo, but Vince did answer part of the question, I guess.
Yeah, and that is one of the biggest cover-ups you'll ever. I actually know the exact truth of what happened with Booth Carter, and I'm not going to blow the whistle on the program at all.
But
is his mom still tweeting? I mean,
I'll say this: that it was some old school stuff that went down with Boo Carter. Some stuff that we did back in the 90s and 80s, and Miami Hurricane type things that got him right. I'll just say that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's much
self-policing.
Hey, there's much more to that story, I promise. The other thing I wanted to say, and this is really, really important, is Drew DeArmond. Go Badgers. Y'all have a great week.
We'll see. Well, I mean, I'll just say
I know why Steeler Mike called in twice.
If the Badgers win, the coaching search is underway.
We do need to take another time out. We'll get the Dogs' perspective on
from the film guy.
That's right.
Dogs Daily's Brooks Austin.
He'll join us next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. Some of us probably going to see 90 degrees. It's going to be a beautiful evening for Friday night football. We'll start the evening in the lower 80s and then gradually fall into the 70s as we head into the later part of the evening, dropping into the 60s through the overnight. A mostly sunny sky for your Saturday. Temperatures consistently climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We are a championship school, and school is in session.
Makes a catch, makes them bang into each other, stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, scores!
Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide hit the turf to face the Wisconsin Badgers. Our coverage begins at 8 a.m. on your home for Alabama football.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our workhorse special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
It all comes back to money.
Visit our store right now at zonedeals.bigdealsmedia.net to take advantage of all the best deals in the Tennessee Valley. Or just go to our website, 977ESPN.com, and click on the Zone Deals logo to start saving right now.
Now, as to the price.
These deals won't last long, so get yours now. Zone Deals. You'll thank us later.
A man who could easily afford to buy a vowel.
Listen to the Rocket City Trash Pandas all season long.
Swing on lifted, deep left, back goes O'Donnell, he looks up, it's done, and it's over. again. The goose is loose.
Trash Panda Baseball is only on Talk Radio WZZN.
Georgia.
Oh, boy.
National anthem
Georgia.
right here.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
The whole day.
Way too many laser shows reminiscing in my mind right now at Stone Mountain Park.
There you go.
The fine folks at the Worldwide Leader just updated their notes on Kirby Smart versus the University of Tennessee. Of course, we all know that he is 8-1 as a head coach after losing his first matchup. The major difference from his playing days at Georgia, where he was winless from 95 to 98. And, of course, that was me asking him about picking off Peyton Manning 30 years ago up there on Rocky Top, because after all,
no, we lost that game. So that's not exactly the best moment for me.
He's had a couple of good moments, though, in his coaching tenure.
No doubt. And our next guest has had and has pointed out a bunch of them. He is a must follow on YouTube. He was just about two tables down from us in Atlanta.
That's right.
He came on with us.
In between exhibits.
Yes, absolutely. He was very busy and very dapper. And he will be on scene tomorrow with his crew for game day in Knoxville as the Georgia Bulldogs look to win their 9th straight over the Tennessee Volunteers. And we're talking about the film guy, Brooks Austin of Dogs Daily. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, gentlemen. How are you on this beautiful Friday morning?
We are good. We are very good. And this is your time of year. You grind the tape. I'm anxious to see this game because I want to see how good both these teams are. I don't really take a whole lot out of the Austin Peay deal, but I'm anxious to see what you think of Georgia so far in this very interesting season with this young squad for Kirby Smart.
Yeah, I think they're getting back to Georgia line of scrimmage play. I'm going to read off some names who I think are all going to be top 45 selections when their time at Georgia is done. Chris Cole, the linebacker, will be a first-rounder. I think Juan Gaston will be a first-rounder. Monroe Freeling, the tackle, will be a first-rounder. Elijah Griffin has been drawing comparisons to Jalen Carter since he was 14. I think he'll be a first-rounder. Quintavious Johnson will be a top 45 pick. Kristen Miller will be a top 45 pick. Donnie Glover, a true freshman offensive lineman, they think is going to be a top 60 pick. Guys, I just rattled off 7 names that only play line of scrimmage or box positions, and 6 of those 7 are underclassmen. We have an opportunity over the next 3 years to be watching something very special at the lines of scrimmage for Georgia, and I'm glad I'm at least around early enough to recognize what I think I'm about to be watching, which is elite line of scrimmage and box play over the next 2 or 3 years for Georgia. The question that everybody has is, are they going to get above average play at the quarterback position? Because right now they do not have a confident quarterback that's playing above average football.
That's exactly where I was going to go. I just tell me what you've seen out of that quarterback room.
You know, I've been saying all week, I think there's 2 types of young, inexperienced quarterbacks, right? And you guys know what they look like. There's one quarterback who holds the football too long, doesn't really know what he's seeing, puts the ball at risk, takes bad sacks, just doesn't really have an awareness of situational football, right? And then there's young quarterbacks who just don't trust themselves. If you watch Gunner right now on film, you can see his eyes are going to the right spot at the right time. He's playing within the system. He's playing on time. He's not taking bad sacks. I think Georgia's been in 1 second and 10 plus all year through two games. That was not the case last year. I'm not even talking about a 2nd and 12, guys. I'm talking about they haven't been in those because he's not taking bad sacks. The problem is he's not driving the ball down the field. He's not trusting what he is seeing. I've seen about 7 times on tape through the first 2 games where it's very clear the progression that the coach has called is working for you. The primary read in the progression is working for you, and you're just not pulling the trigger. That kind of stuff will bite you in the butt if you go and get into a shootout, or if you go on the road and have to score 30-plus points. You won't do it if you can't be explosive through the air.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking to Brooks Austin, the film guy. He's breaking down Georgia and Tennessee. What about the running game? Because this was a big sticking point for Georgia last year. They when Etienne was healthy, they were pretty good, but they just really didn't consistently run the football. what's your film study been? And first of all, Gunner's a really good, has got really good mobility, but how has the running game progressed early so far?
So, I mean, against Austin Peay, they didn't really let Gunner pull the football very much. I don't think he had too many carries in that football game, but you saw what he's going to do to the run game against Austin Peay. Against Marshall. I think he had 2 third-down conversions with his legs that were north of 10 yards because the whole defense is convening on the running back. I think he had 2 fourth-down conversions in that football game with his legs as well. So, like, you're going to see that in the critical situations, right? 3rd and short, 4th and short, in the red zone where he can add to counts. Like, that's when they're going to dust off quarterback run game. And maybe in inefficient downs, 2nd and 12, maybe get a quarterback run, try to get to 3rd and 4. That type of situation. Very Riley Leonard-esque with when we decide to dust off quarterback run game, I would be with Gunner Stockton this year. So apart from him, though, the offensive line has made drastic improvements with regards to absorbing stunts and twists. Guys, when I played football 10 years ago in college, like, guys weren't stunting on rundowns. You kind of want to play the run like really schematically fit and like disciplined, right? You just kind of get upfield and hold your gap. That's what we were teaching defensive linemen back in the day. Nowadays, man, they're spiking, stunting, twisting, wrapping, and doing all kinds of crazy junk on every down to try to mess up your combination block. So if you're not A, athletic enough, but B, coached up enough to absorb those slants and stunts, you're going to give up negative plays in the run game. And it didn't matter who they were playing last year or the last 2 years. If they played a team that was stunting or twisting, like Austin Peay did a bunch last week, they had problems running the football. Not last week, man. I could see it on film. Obvious signs of adjustments of picking up these stunts, just general depth of alignment and depth of footwork from offensive linemen. That's going to behoove them this week because Tennessee is one of the most stunting run defenses in all of college football.
And that leads me into, I think if Georgia is going to be successful, I think names like Cash Jones or even Lucky or Delp, I think those are the names. I mean, because we know what I think Branch is going to get targeted plenty, but those guys in particular, I feel like could play a pivotal role if Georgia is going to get a W tomorrow.
Yeah, Tennessee plays a lot of man-to-man coverage. So, for example, if I have Arian Carter, number 7, the Tennessee linebacker, who's about 6'4", 230 pounds, if I have the option to check Cash Jones out of the protection and get him into the pass concepts or have him block in pass protection against Arian Carter, I sure as heck would rather him checking out because Arian Carter is a big, massive physical football player.
Yeah.
And they play a lot of man-to-man coverage. And nowadays I've learned in football, there's a lot of offensive coordinators that are just doing 5-man protections and allowing the offensive line to take care of the 4-down defensive lineman and the additional linebacker in the box, and then making that bigger, more physical, more athletic, pass-rushing type of linebacker cover the back out of the backfield in man-to-man coverage. It's just an easier way of handling stuff like that. But you're right, man. Some of these veterans particularly, I think of the defensive side of the football, in that back end, those defensive backs that have gone through this Tennessee prep multiple times, right? Dalen Everett, it's the second time KJ Bolden's gone through it. That's a little bit different than what we've had with regards to this conversation in the last couple of years. Dan Jackson had gone through 5 preps for Tennessee, right? 3 for the Josh Heupel offense. Malachi Starks had gone through 3 preps for the Josh Heupel offense. They'd seen this stuff more, and when it's playing fast, the more comfortable you are with it, the more, safe you are to make calls and confident you are to make calls. That's something I'm worried about early on in the football game, particularly with how much Tennessee has added to this offense over the years schematically.
And then your thoughts, just, what with this Georgia defense, you just mentioned it. How do they match up with this Tennessee running game? Is it as simplistic as they got to stop Tennessee's running game to win?
So that's what it is with everybody. Like, it's not just stopping the run game; it's how you do it. Like, do you have to commit extra bodies to the box, right? I always, especially being on the Alabama station, I always tell people this, right? The moment Alabama lost that football game in 22 was the moment they felt like they had to add a safety into the box, because then all the explosive passing started to happen. All the Jalen Hyatt stuff started happening. All the Mike Matthews stuff this year is going to start happening, right? When you start walking safeties up because you feel like you can't stop the run, they start exploding on you left and right with deep passes. And that's the type of stuff, man, you have to avoid. You got to be able to play that run with just those 4 down linemen and that what is most of the time one linebacker in the box, man. You got to play 5-on-7 football against Tennessee to win.
I mean, I've at least I don't probably study it as much as you do, but at least Tennessee defensively has looked awfully physical. And I realize it's been Syracuse and East Tennessee, but I'm leaning a little bit towards Tennessee tomorrow. How about you?
So I always pick Georgia in this matchup because of the stylistic clashings, right? Like Heupel's whole entire identity is I want to spread you out, make you play the defensive run game light, right? Well, that's the entire defensive identity of Georgia. They do that better than you do that. Like they play light boxes by nature. They play light boxes against teams that run the football. They are, in conventional situations. So it's just what Georgia does. It's why Tennessee and Heupel doesn't have a win against this guy. It's what his entire defense is built off of. Making you or being done to him is comfortable, right? He wants to play those light boxes. So I always pick Georgia, but the quarterback play from Tennessee is really, really good right now. He's actually playing quarterback. He's going through progressions. He's got a chance on 3rd down. The last 2 years with Joe Milton and Nico Iamaleava, Tennessee did not have a chance on 3rd down unless Nico was scrambling to pick it up. So they actually have one, and they're going to get put in 3rd downs because they always do against this defense. You asked about Tennessee's defense. I'm with you. They hunt the football, man. They sprint to the rock. And the most important thing about them is they turn it over. They are a havoc-wreaking defense. And when they turn it over, they ain't just making a play. They're making a big play, man. I think they've got 2 pick sixes to start the football game in the last 2 years. One against NC State, and then I think they picked a fumble up and ran it back to the house 2 weeks ago against Syracuse.
Yeah. Well, and then Vince Ferrara is telling us that right now the Vols without their 2 best corners, Branch has been a great addition for Georgia. Is this a area of the game where I know you talked about Gunner needing to play with more confidence, but do you see maybe Kirby and the coaching staff, Coach Bobo, trying to get Gunner off to a good start, maybe gain him some confidence and go after Tennessee's secondary?
Tennessee has had some injuries at corner, but the last 6 quarters, that Tim Banks defensive staff ain't calling plays like they don't have 2 Darrell Reeves out there. They're still running the same defense, man. They're still walking down, playing man-to-man coverage. They're still trusting those young corners, right? And then one of them's not even young. It's Colton Hood, the corner from Tennessee, or from Colorado. They transferred him in. Guys, Ty Redmond's a kid from Milton High School that they felt like they were going to have to play this year anyways because he was so damn good as a true freshman. So they believe in those guys. My thing, guys, is that I would not be a man-to-man bump and run football team against Gunner because I just wouldn't make it that easy. I've watched the 3 games that he has started, right? I watched the Notre Dame game, I watched the Marshall game, and I watched the Austin Peay game, studied every single snap. He looked a whole hell of a lot comfortable against Notre Dame when the equation is my guy going to beat his guy? That's the only question when we play man-to-man football teams that like the pressure. All right, hey, I got Colby Young out there against Ty Redmond. All right, let's see if he wins. If he does, we're going to win. That's way too easy for a quarterback that's playing without confidence right now. I would make Gunner Stockton filter through zone coverage and zone pressure him to death until he showed me that he saw a window in a zone and ripped the football confidently. I really, truly believe it would be a borderline malpractice to go out there and play bump and run man-to-man. It would be way too easy. It would make the game, hey, can our wide receivers beat Tennessee's defensive backs? That's not the equation. We can't make it that simple.
Well, I'll just make this simple to wrap up the segment. I'm taking it that you still like Georgia to win this matchup.
Yes, I do. I'm going to take them 24-17, and I'm going to tell you this right now, guys. If they do this, if they go up to Neyland and beat what I think is a top 12 football team in that home stadium without a confident quarterback, in other words, if they go up there and run the ball and play defense to a 24-17 win, they're going to be able to do it to just about anybody this year. So watch out.
Watch out. Well, let everybody know how to connect with you, man, and safe travels and have fun in Knoxville, even though I know it's going to be hard.
No, man, those people love me, surprisingly. I have found that the Tennessee fan base just loves a ball knower. That's it. They
there you
just
go.
want a ball knower. It's at Brooks Austin, BA, and you already plugged it, man. You can find me on YouTube at the Film Guy Network.
Thank you, brother.
No doubt, boys. Y'all be good.
It is the only place that I was on the sidelines with Lauren that had batteries thrown at me.
Not surprised. And you were on the field.
Batteries thrown at me.
In 22.
And I don't know why people, I hope they were dead batteries, but anyway, it is the only place I've been. Well, I was wearing Georgia garb, obviously, part of the Dogs Radio Network. But yeah, I had batteries thrown at me.
Maggots. Well, we're going to take a break here. We're about to wrap up another week of Talking Ball.
I'm just getting warmed up.
No, but Jimmy Lay is going to call in, and we are going to have a rundown of high school football coming up next. Stay with us.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live artfully. Live Stella.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Well, I've been kind of rolling with a question all day long, and it does kind of tie in with tomorrow's headlines today. And that question has been, what would shock you more, Arkansas winning or Florida winning? And the more I think about that, Chris Doering answered that question. And I think it would shock me more to see Florida win rather than Arkansas. And don't get me wrong, I don't think either one of them are going to win. But if this conference is truly as nutty as I think it might be,
it would be more shocking for me for the Arkansas Razorbacks and Sam Pittman. So, but I'd like to see it. I'd like to see something crazy similar happen that I watched this morning, which was so beautiful watching Hugh Freeze gag, and they lose in 2015 to Alex Collins and Hunter Henry and the throwback.
Yeah, they replayed that on SEC this morning. That was 10 years ago. The 4th and 25 play,
something like that,
and the Hunter Henry play. In fact, Sam was asked about that and just called it one of those fluke plays, and it really was just one of those fluke plays it landed the right way.
Yeah.
And ultimately cost Ole Miss an opportunity.
It did. Well, we do have Jimmy Lay, and he has called in to give us his rundown for tonight. A lot of high school football on Friday Night Lights. Jimmy, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Yeah, guys, there's a lot of great college football, but there's a lot of good high school football tonight, too. And probably the biggest game in this area is West Morgan and Priceville. Both of them are undefeated. You got West Morgan running back Makari Johnson, and he's got over 500 yards, 9 touchdowns already in 3 games. But Priceville's got Bronson Carroll. He's got almost 500 yards and 7 TDs. It's going to be a really great game in 4A Region 7. You got Region 8 tonight. Not a lot of people talking about it, but Madison County and New Hope. That's gonna be a big game tonight. New Hope is hoping to stay unbeaten and stay on top of Region 8. Huntsville, James Clemens, man, I am really curious to see what Huntsville's going to do. James Clemens hurting after just getting destroyed last week against Bob Jones, and Huntsville undefeated, playing well. Drew, I hope I get something from that game so we can post it tonight before it gets too late. You got the Cotton Classic, Buckhorn at Hazel Green, and of course I will be at Randolph with the Westminster at Randolph, and that's just it's a huge rivalry. Westminster has not won it that much there, and so it's going to be interesting to see how they do. I mean, Randolph has just had a tough schedule. I mean, everybody that looks at them says, "Oh, they're 0-3, they can't be any good." Well, yeah, look who they played. West Morgan, Madison Academy, and Priceville right out the gate. So I know that Louis LeBlanc, as you guys just talked to earlier today, he's going to have his guys ready. He's going to be up front, in the trenches of what wins that game and who can control it in the fourth quarter. Westminster is more fresh because they only have most of their guys only play one way, except for Carson Tinsley. He'll be on the field just about the entire game. That should be the difference, though, tonight for Westminster.
Well, appreciate it, Jimmy. We look forward to your coverage, brother.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jimmy.
And don't forget, Randolph they actually played Plainview, Madison Academy, and West Morgan, but a very tough schedule for David. Well, he'll be on the next show as Steve is on 2 more hours.
Yes, I am.
He continues. Hey,
you ready, Johnny boy?
Yeah, they're ready. Is Johnny ready? Hey,
he's not even paying attention.
Happy birthday to Coach Caleb Brown, associate head coach of the Crimson Panthers. Saw them practice yesterday. Very impressive.
Happy birthday, Sydney Sweeney.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by The Good Feet Store, a proud supporter of Alabama athletics. Visit The Good Feet